In this video, I'll be explaining how certain edits in the music video, LALISA by Lisa can be done in Adobe Premiere Pro. I have included timestamps in the video description below, so feel free to check them out. And the video starts right now. First, I'll explain how to animate colors just like the beginning of this music video. For this explanation, I will be using this footage in which a man is walking in a forest. Alright, let's start animating now. As you can see, this video starts with black and white, and then gradually the colors are being revealed. In order to do this, first I'll be making this footage black and white. To do this, first, you have to go to the color panel. Next, go to the creative section. As you can see, this panel is sort of out of focus. That's because the footage hasn't been highlighted. So I'll go ahead and do that by clicking on the footage. As you saw, the creative section came back to focus. Now I'll go to the look section and choose the monochrome Fuji effect. Alright, now the footage is black and white. Now go to the effect controls section and find the effect you just used. There it is. See that intensity section right there? We'll be making keyframes for that section. For those who don't know what keyframes are, they're basically used to animate things. In Premiere Pro, anything that has the stopwatch icon in front of it can be animated. Here, I'll show you what happens when you click on this number and drag the mouse left and right. When I drag it to the left, the colors start appearing, and when I drag it to the right, the colors start disappearing. Alright then, let's start making keyframes. First, click on the stopwatch to turn it on. As you saw, doing that created a keyframe here. Now let's move the playhead to about here and create a keyframe at that point. We want the colors to be fully visible at this point, so click on this number and drag your mouse to the left. Instead of doing that, you can also just click on this number and type 0. Either way, doing that will create a keyframe here, right at the point where I moved the playhead to. Let's move the playhead again and create a keyframe there. We want the footage to go back to black and white at this point, so you can either click on this number and drag your mouse to the right or click on the number and type 200. Likewise, keep creating keyframes throughout the footage. Make the colors visible in one keyframe and turn them black and white in the next keyframe. Alright, let's see how it turned out. As you saw, the animation is very slow. If this happens to you too, you can make it faster by adding more keyframes. First, let's move these keyframes a little bit closer. Alright, now let's make new keyframes. Let's check how it turned up this time. It looks way better than earlier. And that's how you can animate colors just like the intro of LALISA. Next, let's take a look at this pole dancing scene. If you observe carefully, you can see that there's a bit of slow motion before each cut. The technique that has been specifically used here is called speed ramping. I'll explain how to do both the regular speed changing and the speed ramping. For this explanation, I'll be using this footage in which a person is dancing. Alright, first, let's enlarge the track. Next, you see this small box on the video clip? Right-click on it and choose Time Remapping, and then Speed. Then you'll see a black line appearing on the middle of the video clip. You can control the speed of the footage by moving that line up and down. As you can see, it's at 100% right now. If you move the line upwards, the percentage is going to rise and the video is going to be in fast motion. Therefore, the length of the video clip will decrease. If you move the line downwards, the percentage is going to get lower and the video is going to be in slow motion. Therefore, the length of the video clip will increase. This is how you can do regular speed changes. Now let's see how we can do some speed ramping. To do this, first, you have to choose where you want to apply the speed ramp. I'll be applying it right here when the dancer is about to jump. I'll make the speed ramp start just when the jump starts and make him jump in slow motion. Alright, now let's start creating the ramp. First, choose the pen tool. To do that, you can either press P on the keyboard or click on this icon here. Next, click on the clip right where you want the ramp to start. If you just click on the footage, it's not going to do anything, so make sure you click on the black line. Once you do that, a dial will appear. As you can see, When you take the cursor onto that dial, the pen tool will disappear and this icon will appear. Once that appears, start dragging your mouse to the right side and release it at the point you want the ramp to stop. Doing this will duplicate the dial. So basically, the footage before the first dial can have one speed and the footage after the second dial can have another speed. The speed of the footage between the two dials will either gradually increase or gradually decrease depending on what kind of ramp you'll be creating. If you want that part of the footage to be in fast motion, you need to drag the line upwards. As I want the jump to be in slow motion, I'll click on the line here and drag it downwards. I zoomed in a little bit so that you can observe the changes more clearly. Alright, now let's check how the video looks. As you saw, the slow motion begins just as he's about to jump and it continues throughout the rest of the footage. But I want the speed to go back to normal just as he lands from the jump. So I'll create a speed ramp for fast motion around here. Next, I'll choose the pen tool, zoom in a little bit and click here. Then I'll drag this dial to the right. Now I'll click on this line and bring the speed back to 100%. If you want to adjust the smoothness of a speed ramp, click on one of the dials. Then a blue color dial will appear on the black line between the green color dials. When you click on it and drag your mouse, you'll be able to see this dial rotating. This will help you smoothen your speed ramp. Now let's check how the video looks. As you saw, the speed of the video goes back to normal just as he lands. And that's how you can create speed ramps. Now, I'll be explaining how to create the transition you can see right here. For this explanation, I'll be using this footage in which 4 women are walking while carrying sacks on their heads. To create this transition, you need to have different footage which have been shot at the same place under the same conditions. In other words, the background should be the exact same in both videos. As I couldn't find such videos, I broke this video into 2 parts. The first part looks like this. And the second part looks like this. In this explanation, I'll be creating a line in the middle of the video, something similar to the pole in the music video. Then I'll be editing the video clips in a way that seems as if the clothes of 2 women are changing just as they pass by the line. Feeling lost? Don't worry, this is a very easy edit to do. Keep watching this video because I'll be explaining everything in detail in a simplified manner so that you can easily understand it. Alright then, let's get started. First, go to the Effects panel and type Crop in the search bar. You can find this effect under the Transform folder in the Video Effects folder. I'll click on it and drag and drop it onto both video clips. Alright, I'll highlight the first video and go to the Effect Controls panel and search for the crop effect I just applied. Then, I'll click on this number in the left section and type 50% and enter it. As you saw, doing this cropped the left half of that footage. Here, I'll mute the second clip so that you can see it clearly. Now let's select the second clip and crop the right half of it. Go to the right section this time and enter 50% as before. As you saw, it cropped the right half of the footage. Alright, I'll unmute the first video clip and play the preview so that you can get an idea how it looks like after the edits I did. Notice that in the left footage, 2 women are appearing from the middle of the preview and the 2 women on the right footage disappear at the middle of the preview. Now I just need to move these 2 clips in the timeline and match the timing so that the 2 women on the left will start appearing just as the 2 women on the right starts disappearing. First, let's trim the second video clip so that we won't have something like this happening. Next, we'll create the pole-like line I was talking about right here. To do that, go to the pen tool icon and click and release it after a few seconds. Then, choose the rectangle tool. I'll go up here, and click and drag the cursor to the bottom of the playback and release it. Doing this will create a rectangle as you can see. If there is some space at the top where you started creating the rectangle, you can move it up. Before doing that, press V on the keyboard to choose the regular cursor and then drag the rectangle up. Alright. Now let's extend this graphic clip which was automatically created when I designed the rectangle. Move your cursor to the corner of the clip until you see this red symbol. Then click and drag it to the length you want. I want the rectangle to last throughout the whole video, so I'm going to drag it up to here. Alright, as you already know, this footage is not something that was shot in order to create this transition. And honestly, I don't think having the rectangle graphic in the middle will work out for this particular footage, so I'll click on that clip to highlight it. Go to the Effect Controls panel and click on Position. Then I'll drag it to the left. Now I'll adjust the crop size of the video clips in the playback real quick by clicking on each clip and clicking on the crop effect. Alright, now I'll be creating the transition on this frame, in which a woman on the right footage starts going past the rectangle. I'll bring the footage on the left over here and try to make a woman start appearing from the rectangle. Alright, now I'll extend the graphic clip and give it a play. As you can see, it's not perfect because just like I said earlier, this video wasn't shot for this type of transition. But now you have an idea as to how this transition was edited. And that's how you edit LALISA by Lisa. Did I explain every effect in this video, or did I miss anything? Let me know in the comments below. If you found value in this video, make sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel. Turn on your notifications so that you won't miss any videos like this. You might find these videos useful as well, so go ahead and check them out. I offer video editing services on Fiverr, so if you want me to edit your video, you can drop me a comment or go to my Fiverr profile via the link in the video description below. Thank you for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one.